Let's go on to the wide receiver position.
Let's run it.
Okay. Let's move on to start that man. We got our boy Brandin Cooks, the Houston Texans wide receiver. My most favorite tweet of the year probably is when Mark Ingram went to the Saints and Brandin Cooks said, "What the fuck?"
So this is some bullshit.
Oh yeah, this is some bullshit. That's my favorite. But yeah, start that man, Brandin Cooks against the Tennessee Titans. This is the game of the year or what for Brandon?
Nah, I mean, you just,
Let's go, Brandon.
we're talking about volume here in terms of, he's like their only offensive weapon.
It really is. That's him. Yeah, you know what? It's Philip Lindsay's just like what?
I mean, I don't know what they're doing over there
Me
with the
neither.
Texans. I'm not expecting Brandin Cooks to be there next year. I mean, obviously, they got the Deshaun Watson drama still going on. I don't expect Deshaun Watson to be there, obviously, next year either. I don't think any of us do. But, yeah, it's this offense. I don't even want to say through the air because just in general, this offense moves through Brandin Cooks. I mean, he's got a 30% target share on the season. That's the fourth most in the NFL. So, I mean, you love seeing that. He's ranked 10th in targets, and he's tied 6th in receiving yards, or he's tied 6th in receptions. Sorry. He's got 57 receptions. So, so he's seeing 30% of the targets from
That's crazy.
the offense. And this is good because the Titans have allowed the most receptions to wide receivers, and they've allowed the most receiving yards to wide receivers. So, yeah, dial up Brandin Cooks this week. I think he's got top 10 upside in a money matchup. And the game script is, they should be down against the Tennessee Titans, so they should be passing to keep up and catch up. So, more targets for Brandin Cooks equals more fantasy points for my fantasy team.
Dude, and most fantasy points per game to the wide receiver position and the second most touchdowns to the wide receiver position.
Do I trade you a first for Brandin Cooks right now? Dynasty.
No.
Do we making a trade live on the air?
No. Quit trying to trade me.
Bro.
Because I know what you're doing.
What? 2 first-round picks.
You're trying to pull my pants down.
2 first-round picks, dude.
No.
See, dude.
2 first-round picks for Brandin Cooks?
Yeah.
We can't do this here.
Why?
We need to have a real discussion.
We are having a real
Not
discussion.
here. Not on this.
Not on this planet?
No. On Earth 2.
All right.
Second
2.0.
life.
Yeah, in the
In the
metaverse.
metaverse. Let's go on to the next one here. We got our boy Hunter Renfrow. Start that man. I think we've been saying it for all season.
Pretty much.
Especially in PPR leagues, you got to start Hunter Renfrow. After Henry Ruggs, I think he's on vacation or something, but after he's been gone for a while,
Too soon.
forever.
Dude. Too soon, dude.
Hunter Renfrow has become the guy. So I have a buddy, by the way, who makes like clothes, and he made he was gonna make like a Raiders thing, but his first design had flames on it. But then after the Henry Ruggs thing, he's like, yeah, I had to reworkshop the.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to sell like Raiders stuff with flames on it.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But you know what else has been fire? Who's been hot like Hansel? Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Renfrow, we were talking about it. He's kind of like a modern day Wes Welker, modern day Julian Edelman in terms of, just this shifty slot wide receiver, PPR guy. I mean, if you're in PPR leagues, he's had He's had 10 or more PPR points in every single game but one. So in 8 of the 9 games that he's played, he's had 10 or more PPR points. He's had 7 receptions in 3 straight games. Obviously the Henry Ruggs thing is unfortunate. It sucks, what he's going through for Henry Ruggs. But, due to his absence, it seems like, they were already kind of leaning on Hunter Renfrow, where he was getting 5, 6 catches every single game. But now it's just like he even has that much of a safer floor in the 3 games without Henry Ruggs. Like I said, 7 catches. So, and the Bengals pass defense, they've allowed the 7th most receptions to wide receivers. So that's good for a guy when you're thinking about Hunter Renfrow and his PPR upside. And then Carr averages the 4th most pass attempts per game. So you're telling me I'm going to get a guy who's getting a ton of catches in Hunter Renfrow against a team that is giving up the 7th most receptions to wide receivers, and then my quarterback throws the ball the 4th most time out of anybody in the league. Yeah, sign me up for Hunter Renfrow. Just one of the safest floors in the entire NFL. Like, I went out and I've traded for Hunter Renfrow in a couple leagues just because he doesn't have like that flashy name, and I don't know if it's just like.
Yeah, you could trade, but I mean, you could trade a nice good fart for
Like, it's just like, yeah, tell me a guy's gonna get me, basically 12 points every single week, no matter what. It's just like, yeah, okay, it's not sexy, it's not through the roof, but like he's not gonna lose. He's not gonna goose egg me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I lost this week because Hunter Renfrow got me 0 points.
Right.
So I
safe floor.
I like it. Yeah.
I also like it. Let's go on to the next wide receiver. We got our boy Jaylen Waddle. We're hitting every position. Remember when that guy anyways, my brain just went crazy. I started thinking about Mike Gesicki. But Jaylen Waddle's been solid. He's one of those guys that ran like a crazy he had a really fast 40 time, yeah?
Yeah, he fast.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where you're like, oh, is this another John Ross? Is this like a guy that's just really fast and not very good? But with everything going on with the injuries in Miami with Devontae Parker, and like a lot of those guys haven't been able to be there every week, Jaylen Waddle's been kind of solid, and I to be honest, I'm kind of fallen in love.
Falling in love, nice.
Falling in love. Yeah, no, not really, but you know what I mean. Just because I watch a lot of Dolphins games because I'm friends with all you guys and you guys are diehard Dolphins fans, yeah, I do notice Jaylen Waddle has been pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, I like Waddle. Obviously, I'm a Dolphins fan, but, Miami's throwing the ball at the third highest rate in the NFL. They throw the ball 66% of the times. I mean, he's basically the number one wide receiver for the Dolphins. You got Devontae Parker still out. Will Fuller is still out with the finger. And then the matchup is money, like we were saying earlier with Tua. If we like Tua, then you got to like Tua's number one passing option, which is Jaylen Waddle. I mean, the Jets have allowed 283 passing yards, second most in the NFL, and they've allowed the fourth highest completion percentage as well. Tua's been pretty efficient and accurate with the football, so you like seeing those things. And for what it's worth, Tua's only started and finished 4 games so far this season. He's been banged up. Left one game early, and then he came in last week at halftime. But in the 4 games that Tua has started and finished, Jaylen Waddle is seeing 9 targets per game, which is in those contests. Nice. So yeah, you like seeing that volume and efficiency there. So yeah, I love Jaylen Waddle this week. I'd be dialing him up. I think he's a solid wide receiver too.
Yeah, definitely. If you got Jaylen Waddle, better be starting that man. We on to Corey Davis. Is this a sit that boy?
Yeah, it is a sit that boy.
Sit that boy. We got our boy Corey Davis for the New York Jets. It's like, what time is it? Elijah Moore time. It seems like it's just Elijah Moore. No more Corey Davis.
Yeah, so I mean, I like Corey Davis. I think he's a talented football player. He's coming off a good game where he got 5 catches on 7 targets, 93 yards. Pretty decent game, especially against a tough Buffalo defense there. But I think a lot of that might have been in junk time or garbage time towards the tail end of the game when they're just getting smacked. But this week at home against Miami Dolphins, I don't know what it is, but the Miami Dolphins defense has turned it around the last couple weeks. I'm expecting a lot of Xavier Howard on Corey Davis. I mean, if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm just like, hey, Xavier Howard, shadow Corey Davis. Just blanket him, shut him out, limit him, do whatever you got to do, and then we'll worry about the rest of the passing options for the Jets here. So that's what I would be thinking if I was the Dolphins coach. Obviously, the Dolphins, like you said earlier, who knows what they're thinking or what they do sometimes, because what they do sometimes doesn't make any sense. But I just don't see the upside here for a guy like Corey Davis. I would actually, like you said, Elijah Moore would be a guy who lines up in the slot a little bit more that I'd probably be leaning on, because I think the slot is where you could probably attack Miami better, instead of going against a guy like Xavier Howard or Byron Jones on the outside.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, this is Joe Flacco's first game starting with the Jets this season, so we're not sure.
No idea what's going on.
Yeah, obviously we liked Corey Davis because in preseason, Zach Wilson was just hyper targeting him.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen what Joe Flacco's going to do. Is he going to hyper target Corey Davis like Zach Wilson was doing, or is he going to be like the savvy veteran who's just like, okay, I'm just looking for the open receiver. Like, okay, right. Corey Davis is being covered by Byron Jones and Xavier Howard, so like I'm not going to try to thread the needle when I have a guy Elijah Moore, Jameson Crowder, Michael Carter out of the backfield. Like, is he going to go for the easy, quick plays instead of trying to force something into Corey Davis? That's just what I'm thinking in why I would sit Corey Davis this week.
Yeah, definitely. Miami's corner. You guys are good. Your corners. That one kid, that defensive player, Holland.
Yeah,
he was fun to watch.
Yeah, dude, he's mucho horny.
He's everywhere. But yeah, let's go on to the next guy here. We got hello there. Hey, listen, right now, I know we talk about him a lot, but Underdog Fantasy, it has a really good deal right now. It's a player pick'em app. It's a DFS app. It's very similar to DraftKings or FanDuel, but this is better. It's brand new, very easy to use interface. But if you download the app right now and use promo code AVG, they used to hook up with $10 with your first deposit. Right now, they're matching you up to $100. So if you put $100 in the app right now on your first deposit, you will get an extra $100 to play around with. They got player pick'ems. You can even do a private match inside Underdog Fantasy. It's pretty dope. So you can challenge people and whatnot. You don't have to maintain a team for all year. So you can just draft your team, play that week, draft the next team next week. You could do it daily in a Thursday night game as well. So go check it out. Tons of prizes. Free $100. Come on, sign up. It's the best. And use promo code AVG. Now back to your video. I mean, do we have to say anything about this man? Allen Robinson. We're going to sit that boy. I mean, I almost just want to chop it up to the Bears. It's just the Bears.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just
the Bears just run the ball. They don't throw the ball. He's on a lot of snaps. He's always out there, but it's just if you don't get targeted and you don't, what are you gonna do?
There's just no ceiling here for Allen Robinson, and I joke around. I've made the joke that my team name is Allen Robin my season because it just sucks. When you think about Allen Robinson and what he's done over the course of his career, even with subpar play like Blake Bortles,
totally,
Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, a guy who would still see 130, 140 targets and get you 90 catches or whatever it is, 100 catches. And
it's not a flub.
I just don't know what it is with Justin Fields. You think if I want to be a successful quarterback in the NFL, I should probably throw the football to the best receiver on the team. It just makes sense to me. But what do I know? I'm not a professional NFL quarterback. I'm just a professional fantasy football analyst. But there's just no ceiling here. He in PPR leagues, he hasn't even had over 11 points. It's earlier I was just talking about Hunter Renfrow. Here, Hunter Renfrow, here's a guy who's going to get me at least 12 points minimum every single game. And then you have Allen Robinson, who hasn't even gotten you 11 points in one game all season. So I just don't see the upside. There's no ceiling here. Justin Fields, for what it's worth, he leans on Darnell Mooney more than he does Allen Robinson. If I'm Allen Robinson, I cannot get out of Chicago faster. In the offseason, I'm going anywhere, Miami, besides the Chicago Bears.
Do you want Allen Robinson?
I mean, Will Fuller, Devontae Parker can't stay healthy to save their life, so we gotta get rid of those guys. We need someone who can stay healthy. Just give me someone who can stay on the field. What's the best ability?
Availability.
And those guys are just never available. So yeah, Miami does need to make some moves, but
that would be hot like cancel.
I'd be sitting Allen Robinson if I could.
Yeah. Hey, did you like that video? No, not the one of Big Ben completely eating shit when nobody even touched him. I'm talking about our fantasy football video we just did. You just watched. Well, guess what? That was just a clip from the full audio podcast. So if you want to check out the whole thing, links down below. AVG Fantasy Football Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, all of them. Anywhere you can get audio podcasts, we're there. Go ahead and check it out. And if you don't want to look at your fantasy team to look the way Big Ben does right here, wait for it. Come on, replay. This is your fantasy team. But that won't be your fantasy team if you subscribe to AVG Fantasy Football. So go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to the channel and like.